How's it going, everyone? This is Elite Killer here, bringing you another Division build video. This is my 1.6.1 DeadEye build. This is a two-shot DeadEye build for Last Stand and Dark Zone. Now, getting started, I have a Reckless chest with 2003 armor, which is maxed, rolled for firearms. I've got exotic damage resilience, enemy armor damage, and increased kill XP with 2 firearms mods, one with health, one with skill power. Now the mask that I'm using is a DeadEye mask. Now with this it's rolled again for firearms. This major attribute is skill power, just to add the boost to the booster shot and the pulse. And also I'm running a firearms mod with health. Now with the knee pads I'm running short bow knee pads, again rolled for firearms. Major attribute is plus 8% critical hit damage. I've got damage to elites in the minors there, and firearms mod with health and pulse critical hit damage mod. The holster I'm running is DeadEye holster with 1268 firearms, 1263 stamina. Electronics is a little low, and the major attribute on this one is actually wasted. I'd rather have some skill haste to get them pulses and booster shots back. The mod I'm using on that is a pulse critical hit damage mod. That will help out again with the critical hit damage stats once I press that pulse. The gloves I'm using are DeadEye trigger gloves, rolled for firearms with marksman rifle damage, critical hit damage, which is really important, and enemy armor damage. Now the armor on these gloves are quite standard. It's quite standard. I'd expect them to be a little bit higher usually, but on this DeadEye build that doesn't matter. Now the DeadEye Go bag I'm using has got 8% critical hit damage, rolled for firearms again. Minor attributes, I'd rather have ammo capacity, again with firearms mod, with health, 2 pulse critical hit damage mods, just to get that damage up on the pulse. Now the first weapon I'll use, and this is one I use most, is my custom M44, 160k base damage, 170% headshot damage, which doesn't count. Brutal, prepared, and deadly. Brutal I know is a wasted talent on this, so no, I can't roll it for anything else. It's just what it is. On all my mods I have crit hit damage as the top mod section. So as you can see they're all 19% and 117% on there. So with this build, crit hit chance doesn't matter because as you're aiming down sight you get 100% crit hit chance. The second weapon I use now is an M700 carbon, which is 163,000 base damage, and that's with deadly, prepared, and elevated. Now with this, I've got 120.5% magazine size with reload speed and crit hit damage, 19% crit hit damage on the 3.4 times scope. Again with optimal range on there, so 19% on critical hit damage with the muzzle, and 19% crit hit damage with the grip. So all this build is about is pure crit hit damage, as you can see in a second. So I am running at the moment 153% crit hit damage. Headshot damage doesn't matter unless you're just no scoping, but that 153%, you can probably get that up to 155, I believe, if both of your backpack and your knee pads have 9% on them. Now I've got damage to elites and enemy armor damage on there. It does make a small impact, not a massive impact, but it does the trick for me. Now the armor is very low, but we don't need armor. We're going to be far enough away not to be able to get under attack close quarter. My skills I'm using a pulse. It only gives me the 18.40% crit hit damage, but that's all I'm worried about. I'm not worried about how long it takes to come back. I'm not worried about the crit hit chance either. This is purely all crit hit damage build. Now the booster shot, of course you're going to use booster shot, get that extra weapon damage, pop that. It's not as strong as I'd like it to be, but I can't sacrifice any firearms within this build. I also use recovery link. You could use tactical link, but how often it comes back, it's not really worth it. Now I'm using on the talent, so I'm using triage, try and get those skills back a little bit quicker. The likelihood is you're probably going to not be around many teammates, so it may be a wasted talent, I don't know. Critical save for the 20%, and then combat medic if you are around your team, and tac advance. Now tac advance, I rarely do it on here. It's still 2 shots. Elevated, on my M700 Carbon, if I use elevated, prepared and deadly and use my booster shot and pulse, it can one shot. Now thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Any comments, please place them down in the bottom and I will reply. Take care.